The winning numbers for the evening draw of Tuesday, 11th May 2021 were Tic-Tac-Toe, 7, 8, 9, 13, 15, 16, 20, Big 4, 4, 5, 9, 8, Big 4 Multi-X, 2X, Pick 2, 2, 5, Pick 2 Multi-X, 2X, 1 off, 9, 5, 8, Lucky 3, 7, 0, 3, Super 6, 1, 8, 10, 14, 23, 28, free ticket letter K.
You're watching MBC.
Welcome, St. Lucia, to another episode of Police Insight. I'm your host, Sergeant Zachary Hippolyte of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. I'd like to say good night to our executive, Mr. Daisy. Good night to you, Mr. O'Brien, Miss Pelius. Good night to you, Miss Silly, Dr. Silly. Good night to you, Mr. Nicholas. How are you doing, Mr. Shalry? Good night to you. Our super in charge of the South, Mr. James. Good night to you and all our brothers and sisters down in the South. You know, I'm really hoping to get some of you up here, or maybe to come down to you. Mr. Thomas, Superintendent in charge of the North, good night to you. All Gazette officers, inspectors, sergeants, corporals, constables, both senior and junior, good night to you. Special police constables, special reserve police officers, good night to you. City police, how you guys doing? Holding on? Good night to you. Though they have left us, but they were with us recently, I will still say good night to our departed peace officers, former peace officers. If you're tuned in, good night to you. Our brothers and sisters, well, our ex-officers, those of you who've given all that you, your entire life, most of you. Mr. Sebastian Charles, good night to you. Last time I saw you on the live, and I did not give you a shout out. How you doing, Miss Charles? Good night to you. I remember those days of working with her. It was really amazing, really fun.
Sergeant Dashville.
Yes.
Sergeant Dashville.
And Sergeant Dashville, yes, back in those days. I must be wondering who I'm talking to. I'm going to just introduce him in a while. Law enforcement brothers and sisters, we're talking about the fire service, Bali Correctional Facility, customs, port police, our security officers taking care of public buildings and private buildings around St. Lucia. Good night to you. Those of you who are logged in, we're live on NBC Television St. Lucia, live streaming on Facebook. We're live on NBC Television. And this is where you tell a friend that Police Insight is on. Last Tuesday, we were not able to have a show due to circumstances beyond my control. We recently celebrated Mother's Day. I just say good night to all mothers out there, police mothers, those who bore the children who became mothers, and our police women who are mothers and mothers to be. Good night to you all. We've had, I could say, a decently quiet Mother's Day, though we know it down in Dennery, things have been a little hot. Individuals indiscriminately using illegal firearms. People have lost their lives. Property has been damaged. I know Sergeant Xavier and ASP Alexander down in Dennery trying their best to get a hold of the situation. And for those of you who believe that there is no end to your tyranny of causing fear and panic in the communities. Every dog has its day, every rope has an end. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, in studio with me, I have a very distinguished inspector of police, recently promoted inspector. He's no stranger to Police Insight, no stranger to the communities of the north, neither the south, east, west, wherever you go. And that is, without further ado, Inspector Alex Morgan. Good night to you, sir.
Good night, good night. Good
How
night.
you doing, my brother?
Well, tired.
I know you had a long, long day.
Tired.
Yeah, and I know that, well, for those of you who don't know, most of you who have interacted with the inspector would know that he is or was in charge of the community relations branch. He's now gone on to maybe greener pastures. I don't know, are the pastures greener, Inspector? You cannot, you cannot really say how green they are yet.
No, I cannot really say how
Yeah.
green they are yet, but
Yeah,
but it's a continuity of the same hard work, putting your foot on the ground to ensuring that the work is being done, as well as it's new
yeah,
in a sense. At the same time, it is a continuation of where I left off. I can never leave the CRB, so
Definitely.
I think the community has always been a part of my life.
yes,
Growing up, the community respected me from a young man. From being a cadet and seeing the way I carry myself, I was surprised when I saw big men, 40 years, 43 years, calling me a 17-year-old, sir, good afternoon, sir. And then that's when it really clicked on me that, boy, people respect you, and I wonder why. And then an elderly gentleman told me, boy, I like the way you carry yourself, man. I like the way you carry yourself. And then I realized my growing up, my cadets, it really helped me a lot in terms of being disciplined and valuing the uniform you carry, treasuring it, and wanting to make a contribution to your country. So that's one thing I'm really, and being the police force, being the karate, the discipline throughout,
yes,
and bringing it home. My mother wasn't easy, so when I say wasn't easy, she wasn't. You know, she's a disciplinarian. You know, and you have to be straight, and that helped me a lot. I learned from it things I will and will not do. But it helped me be the person that I am. I also learned from circumstances around me. If something happens to somebody, I look and see how will I make it not happen to me?
that's right.
What should I do to avoid it happening to me? Like, for instance, the childhood that I may have had growing up, I try to ensure that I don't have it with my children. So all of this I learned from situations around me, and I try to make the adjustments as I go on.
And you are currently in charge of the Ancillary, Marigot, and Canaries police stations.
Oh yes, good night Marigot, good night Ancillary, good night Canaries police stations. Not the police stations only, but the communities there.
That's right.
In the west, you'll be seeing a lot of me, you'll be seeing a lot of us.
Yes.
It's a new thrust for me, and it's the police force have trusted me with the responsibility of delivering on their behalf. So I have with my team the competent Sergeant Clark and Sergeant Robert and Sergeant Corporal Robert and Corporal.
Oh, you promoted him again.
Well,
Who knows? Never know what's going to come.
I will say to you, claim it in Jesus' name.
Yes.
Right. And then also Corporal St. Catherine and their teams as well. So it's not just a I effort. There's no I in the word team.
That's right.
So going down there is not just about me, it's about the police force. Yes, I take my work seriously, but if I don't motivate my men and get them going, I don't think it will really be accomplished. Likewise, the citizenry that's supposed to work with us in order to get it done, we have to have the citizenry fueled and riled up so they can really actually come through and serve us and assist the police force to achieve their objective. And the objective, of course, is ensuring their safety and security. And it's only through our cooperation and our working together we can
Very
get
important
that going.
cooperation.
Yeah.
You know, and ladies and gentlemen, yours truly, I have taken over from the good inspector.
As a matter of fact, he booted me out. He booted me out.
And that's impossible.
He told me I have to
You
go.
know, I'm now in charge of the community relations branch, seeing the operations of that department, and I must say that the handing over was a very smooth transition, and the inspector properly guided me and made me very comfortable. So I have no doubt probably one day we might be working together to make things better for a particular or any community. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, it's an open mic night actually. It's an open mic night. It's and you know, for those of you who are not aware, there are times where I have this open mic night because usually I would have a guest and probably we'll go on about 45 minutes to an hour before I open up the lines. But we'll be opening up the lines soon because what we want to hear from you, we want to know what is your overall perception of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force? Do you have confidence in the police? Are you satisfied with the police? Do you have trust in the police? Do you support the police? Do you respect the police? What is your perception of the organization? It is important for us to hear from you. Earlier today, I posted the question on the Police Insight Facebook page, and for those of you who are not aware, there is a Police Insight Facebook page. You just have to key in the words Police Insight, and then you'll actually get the site, and I'd like you to like it, and follow it.
Calls coming already, man.
Yeah, I hear a call already, but we're not taking the calls, not just yet. So whoever is calling, just give us a couple minutes. Really want to have a bit of an introduction as to exactly where we're going. There is something called the standing orders, ladies and gentlemen, and myself and the inspector will be touching on certain citations in the standing orders. And the standing orders is a documentation, a citation of law that deals generally with the conduct of police, what is expected of being a member of the police force. Before we go into certain sections of it, Shane, I sent you a promo video. That video is going to actually highlight one of the policing principles found in the standing orders. So just play that video, Shane.
Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
And I'm going to read, you see the wording I was in that video? I'm going to read it again, and it's part of our, the standing orders, the policing principles. Okay, and that is letter F. And it says that it is the duty of every member of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force to maintain at all times a relationship with the public that gives reality to the historic tradition that the police are the public and the public are the police. I love that part so much.
F.
Let me say it again.
F. E.
Yes, F. It is the duty, and people, there are about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are about 6 or 7 policing principles. We'll probably touch on the others, but I love this one the most. It says again, it is the duty of every member of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force to maintain at all times a relationship with the public that gives reality to the historic tradition that the police are the public and the public are the police. The police being only members of the public. Now I like that part, Inspector, because, you know, throughout the years we've had this distinction so much, the police, the citizenry. But the police being only members of the public who are paid to give full-time attention to duties which are incumbent on every citizen in the interest of community welfare and existence.
Yep.
Inspector, you wish to chime in on how important that policing principle is? What it's actually saying?
Well, it's what it's saying is that the police basically needs the community in order for them to achieve its mandate. And with the police are the ones paid to ensure that this is maintained. But without the assistance of the public, that cannot be achieved.
It cannot be achieved.
And you cannot, like I say, you cannot win flies with vinegar.
With vinegar, yes.
You must be able to work with the public. That's the same public you go to for information. The same public you go to for support. They are the ones that sponsor you sometimes.
Yes.
They are the ones that give you the necessary information for your cases to be solved. So without the public on the side of the police, there's no way we can achieve our objective.
We cannot achieve our objective
at all. Now, it says there that we are all to maintain a relationship with the public that gives reality to the holistic tradition that the police are the public and the public are the police.
Powerful words.
Like we have very powerful and it's straightforward. Like it says, the police from the community.
That's right.
Working with the community for the community. And as long as we understand these three little lines, we will appreciate that it is important for us to maintain that relationship with the public.
And I'm happy you said it that way, because where do the police come from?
The community.
The community.
Right.
The police officer is someone's mother, someone's father, son, daughter. You know, some individual you grew up with in school, that used to play ball with you. You know, and also, Inspector, another part of that policing principle I like so much, and we need to ensure and remember this: the police being only members of the public. Republic. You know, sometimes you ever heard people say the public paying your salary.
Yeah. You get that all the time.
You get that all the time, right?
We have people who are not working say, my money paying you.
My money paying you.
You know, and we get that. I mean, people that you know they are not employed. They have not worked for any.
Yeah.
They are making any contribution towards the.
Yeah.
And they tell you, my money paying you.
Yeah. But we are still members of the same public.
Yes.
When we're off duty, although you know we've always had this debate, really and truly, is a police officer really ever off duty? But when we're actually off duty, we are still engaging with services and all other forms of life just like any normal citizen.
Well, I hail from the community of Pave. Good night, Pave. Good night, Pave. Good night, Miller Hill. Good night, Rockhall. Therefore, that's my community where I'm from. And in my community, I don't always sleep because my community knows as a police something happens, I'm one of the first that they call.
Yeah.
Or not even call. If I am there, I get involved because I want to ensure that peace is maintained in my community. Some may not like it because some people, I mean, they may benefit from what is taking place, or somebody may be doing them a favor by beating that particular person, and they will not do it. But when I come in, I have to try to maintain peace because tomorrow, if I don't take care of it now,
it might affect you yourself.
Right, it might affect other families. It might affect the entire community. And in general, it can bring shame to the country. We saw it the last time. It brought shame to St. Lucia for something happened in my community, where a tourist was attacked, broad day. And the same time we got, St. Lucia got best tourist destination within the Caribbean, food in the world. The very next week, we had on the papers overseas saying that St. Lucia was one of the worst spots to travel because of that lady that was slashed.
Imagine that.
Up in Pave, and that hurt me inside out. You know, I felt like I could have just turned Pave inside out to get the persons that did that, because I mean you're bringing shame on the country from our community. That's where I raised. That's where I am living. So and the committee wasn't pleased about it at all, because the names were in the paper, and not just the local paper, the foreign press as well. So it's important for us to maintain good relationship with the and. It's a 24/7 job.
It's a 24/7 job.
You cannot rest at your home. You say, boy, you know, and Thank God, one of the good things for policing is ensuring that you have a good wife or a good husband.
A good wife,
understanding husband, understanding wife.
A support
So
system.
somebody who knows what you're doing, they know what it entails, and they can give you the support.
So you say are you trying to say I should go and get married, Inspector?
Yeah, if you get married, ask my wife where she came from. Get a wife from there.
Yeah. Yes, and I've also heard instances where you hear members of the public stating that, in particular communities, there are police officers living in those communities. They don't get involved in anything. They're not approachable. They cannot even go to their homes. I mean, I understand that situation because it happens to me. There are times you come from work, ladies and gentlemen, you're tired. You are really tired. You're just trying to catch up on some sleep. 10, 11 p.m. or whatever the case may be, someone is knocking on your door. Officer, I need help. It could be very tasking. But even if you're not able at the time to physically get involved,
can refer.
At least you could refer. You could call the station. You could advise the person. Yes, Inspector?
Yes,
but just don't do anything. Don't turn a blind eye.
Yeah, you never can tell. Sometimes the person you turn away may just be going to the death. The person you turn away may be going across to commit the crime that they should not have had you intervene. So I look at it that way as well, too. Sometimes, though, you know the people in your area, you are from the area, and you know for sure those persons call you when he's drunk.
Yes.
He calls you when he's drunk, and he just getting your attention. He just nags you. Or whenever she drinks, she has a problem with her spouse, and the problem becomes, and it's just a nagging. The same person who could report you, I want you to warn him today. I want you to warn him now. In the next 40 minutes, these people are best of friends. They don't want you at all. Or if you arrest him, by the time he reaches the police station, she has no charge against him. I never ask you to arrest him. I ask you to warn him. I ask you to speak to him, and he says he does that. So you need to know the people that you're working with. Of course, as a police officer, I know sometimes some police officers say that. Sometimes I say, no, I'm not there. I go outside people and tell them, I am not there, I'm sorry. And I go back inside. Because I know it's the same everyday thing. I tell them, okay, go up the road instead and let me stay down the road.
And let me stay down the road. To separate it. And that alone sometimes diffuses the situation.
And sometimes you see, you really, and if you continue always, they will trouble you. They will come to you. They will. And the thing about it, Pave, at the bottom of Pave is the police station. There's CID and there is also Central Station. So you just walk down the road and you meet a police station. If you don't want to walk down Pave, you can walk down Rock Hall and you meet Masha Police Station. So you have police stations close to whichever side you pass, it takes you to a police station. So sometimes I refer them to a police station. Have you thought of going across there? Or go and make a formal report and then I can assist.
And then, yes.
Yeah, because we have to protect ourselves as well.
Exactly.
Because you go there, no report is made, something happens, the person says, I never told him, I only call the man, I never tell him do anything, I never told. And when something happens, the blame remains yours.
And also with the apparent indiscriminate use of illegal firearms, you definitely, officers have to be careful. Sometimes be careful and try your best to get that assistance.
Oh, yes.
At this point in time, let's just take a short break. When we come back, we will go into some other standing orders, things that some of you might not know, and sometimes some of our officers have forgotten. And then we will open up the lines and hear from you. Stay tuned to Police Insight.
Free and the proud recipient of the 2018, 2019 and 2020 Grand Gold Mond Selection Quality Award. Our choice is clear, crystal clear.
Boost your commercial success with MBC TV and MBC Social. Don't look back. Invest in your advertising. Reach your target audience at peak times and off-peak times. We deliver strategically placed advertising spots at the most competitive rates. Also ask about our production services, which include television ad production, jingles, and documentaries designed to suit your business needs. We also deliver classified ads designed for land sales, job opportunities, and more. Advertise with MBC TV and MBC Social.
vaccine is here and is for people 18 years and older.
High-risk healthcare workers, first responders, law enforcement,
as well as people living with chronic conditions.
And our seniors 65 and over. The vaccine is absolutely free.
Ou sa registre online, en community center qui en community ou.
Or with your private healthcare provider. Vaccinate for you.
Pour moi.
For us.
Aging gracefully is the hope for everyone. But when you age prematurely, most people think that something is wrong with you. The natural enzymes and building blocks in your skin start to deplete. So fine or deep lines and wrinkles appear, making you look much older than you really are. At Derma Clinic, we can help repair your skin and change the way you look in minutes. These treatments will make you look younger. At Derma Clinic, we treat all kinds of skin problems, such as facial lines, dark circles around the eyes, crow's feet, and frown lines, using all-natural hyaluronic acid filler. So maintain and improve your facial appearance. For more information, call 453-6417 or 485-9818.
Gentlemen, if you are suffering from prostate cancer, and you have been told that there's nothing that can be done for you before you and your family make your final arrangements, please try ProsCare. ProsCare is a proprietary blend of special natural medicines. To order ProsCare, please call Health Services Center 1-758-453-6417 or 485-9818. Please call now. This call may save your life.
You're watching MBC.
Welcome back to Police Insight. Your host there, Sergeant Zachary Hippolyte. In studio with me is Inspector Alex Morgan, representing the ancillary Marigot, I was about to say Marsha, and Connery's police stations. We're talking about, if you just join us, we're talking about, we want to hear from you. Do you have confidence in the organization? Do you respect the police? Do you trust the police? And if not, what are some of the suggestions that you have in mind that could, how would I say, improve on the relationship? Or in your opinion, is everything okay? That you have no issues with the police and the way we've conducted ourselves, or some of us, whatever the case may be. Right now, we're going through certain citations of law from the standing orders. And we have chosen particular sections that usually speaks to that would assist the police in improving in the perception, the public perception of the organization. So, Inspector, we have this section there, Standing Order number 23, subsection 5, which speaks to appearance. Would you mind reading it out?
Yes. Appearance. A police officer, 5A, police officers must be smart and clean in appearance. Their hair properly trimmed. It says shaving of the upper lip is optional, but beards shall not be worn. Letters and numbers must be worn at all times. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Like I said, first impressions are long lasting, and they leave a lasting impression. Mm-hmm. It is important that police officers must be, you give them a uniform, your white shirt should look white and not yellow. Mm-hmm. There's a store you can always request a new one if it's worn. Mm-hmm. It is your responsibility to ensure. Sometimes it gives somebody approaching you, they get a level of trust, or a level of confidence in coming to you, a level of satisfaction in seeing the way you turn out. I have walked the streets and many persons have complimented me on the way I dress. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not going based on me, but I love to see when an officer is properly turned out. I don't know if it's because of my cadetting and being an instructor at a training school, And it is in me. I have to lead by example. And ensuring that my shoes, if my shoes are not clean, I wear plain clothes.
I see.
But that doesn't mean I wear dirty shoes in plain clothes. But if my shoes, my uniform shoes are not properly shone, I don't wear my uniform for the day. I wear plain clothes instead. And my plain clothes, of course, will be clean. B, of course, your letters and numerals must be shown at all times. For instance, my number before I became inspector was 636.
That's right.
And my numerals were always shown. That's one way they can, like you have yours there, 3111.
Especially in uniform.
Because there's only one 311 Zachary Hippolyte in the force.
Right.
You may have another 311 at the SPC or at the reserve.
That's right.
But in the regular police, you're the only one with that number. So when that number comes up, if you don't remember the person's name, you can say Officer 311. Sergeant 311 was the one I dealt with.
That's
right away they'll know, oh, it's 311, that's Zachary or that's Hippolyte. So it is important that it's a form of identification. The officer must be worn. It's a part of the uniform and it must be worn. And it must be properly tucked in, must be properly shaven as well. When in uniform, B, it says when in uniform, police officers must be immaculately turned out at all times.
At all times.
All right, and it said their bearing and conduct in public must at all times be such as to command the respect of the public and to engender in its members a pride in the force which serves them. Police officers, for their part, should take an indefinite pride in the uniform they wear and the force they represent.
That's right.
Okay, for example, the people see from a distance, you see the white, they see the black. When they see the white shirt, they look for the white stripe on the pants.
One time.
They see that right away, you know, our police. You have your cap on your head, must be properly worn. So you must ensure that you carry yourself well. That person, it gives a person a certain level of trust in you, a certain level of respect in you. And I can remember, I can remember as a young police, when I say young police, I joined the police force at 28, but as a young to the force police, I was patrolling with a more senior person. And we met three come along the road in the Grosley area. I was working in Grosley around the same time with you as well. But one of the police was patrolling with me. Three guys sat by a bar early morning. We were doing our foot patrol. And one came there. Whilst we were patrolling, they police. One of them said, they police.
Yeah.
And the next one responded, yon zalavi, yon bazalavi. The next one responded, yon zapase, yon lot la basapase. And you don't want to hear what the last one said.
Oh my goodness.
The officer got enraged. And right away he wanted to approach the guys and pick him up and, oh, you insulted me. I said, no, buddy. But I mean, I joined at 28 and I was older than him. But he was there about a good 5 years before me. So I'll tell him, no, that's not how it's done. We're not doing this, boss. Oh, you just come from training school. I said, no, even if you just come from training school, there's nothing the man said what he said. But whilst I'm looking at him, I'm thinking my shirt is white. And I have my metals under my shoes.
And the colleague
and my buttons brass. And I'm looking at him, they're looking like he's a... So it hit him hard. So whilst walking with him, I told him, but what you should do is use that as an experience and change that perception. Because you're walking, he told me, you know what he told me, said, boy, I'll not patrol with you next time.
Unbelievable.
So he rather not patrol with me, so I don't look that way by him.
But instead of just doing the change.
Doing the right, just do the change. So I tell him, use every opportunity as an example to change. Yes. But he told me, no, boy, I'll not patrol with you again. If I patrol with you, it's plain clothes. Because, and from then on, I think the same thing happened. Right, so...
And subsection C, another important part.
Yes, it says, police officers being guardians of the peace, should set good example to members of the public by conducting themselves in an irreproachable manner, both on and off duty. Any police officer who bring disrespect, who bring discredit on the force by improper conduct, is a disgrace of the police officers as well as himself.
And the other part I want to reiterate here, it says again, should set good example to members of the public by conducting themselves in an irreproachable manner, both on and off duty.
A simple situation. For instance, you are a police officer, and we have to engage the public in a number of ways. Sports, recreational activities and everything. You're a police officer, you go on the field to play some football with the guys. A guy slide tackle you, or he dribble you, he make you look like, you know. For some reason you want to get bad and act up in a way or curse up And then 2 seconds later, somebody else cursed and tell the person, I'm a police. Don't curse.
Yeah, don't curse. When you just curse
You just finished cursing somebody on the mother.
Yeah.
And then somebody now come across and you heard they using obscene language and you want to take it up like, you want to, right now, you want to remember you're a police. That becomes a problem right away. Okay, you have to live, you have to set the example that you expect the public to go by. Okay, so if it's not good for them, it shouldn't be good for you as well. Okay, so the behavior as such, even during the COVID, you find that there are situations where police go out as well, instead of setting the example. And it becomes a problem because people there, but your officers doing it too.
Yeah.
And I cannot tell them no. Although some person may just say, they have not seen it, they heard it.
Yeah, that happens too.
Yeah, because some person may just say, but your officers have they seen an officer doing it? They may not, they may not, but they are examples where police officers are doing it. And we have to lead by examples. For me, be it as an inspector or when I was as a police, the protocols exist for everybody. I observe it as well. I go home. After I'm home, that's it. I don't go out and breach, unless I'm attending to a situation. I don't leave my home and go on breach protocol and have to ask police officers, yeah, give me a chance. I don't do that. I don't give police officers that embarrassment. All right, because we have to, as much as possible, live by the same rules that we are supposed to enforce. We are supposed to live by them.
I so agree with that. We like we say it's open night, so Shane, let's open up the lines. If call comes in, we will take it, ladies and gentlemen. 4533-911, 4533-911. You could also WhatsApp me on 7200401. I shall also be checking Facebook. We have the first call. Good night, caller.
Hey, good night.
Good night, buddy.
What's up, my brother?
I'm trying, man. What's up? Talk to me.
This is Zachary Boswell.
Boswell.
Mr. Morgan, Boswell for who?
Good night, Alpha.
Well, kita bisa dia buat Mr. Morgan. Mr. Morgan debut jam tadi boy. Mr. misbehave. Mr. Alex. Tak bisa Zachary.
Yeah.
O kata mo.
Not to know.
Ilo meno about two credentials li. Medani bare iba bawo.
Saudi?
Iba two credentials li, eh? Dali bare iba bawo bias.
Kiasla.
It's a Karajiga.
Oh, no, well, I know that for sure.
Il a train moun.
Oui.
Ça fait coup de discipline.
Yes.
Et moi, monsieur Morgan, toute façon, ma behave. Un seul mot, ça n'est pas cher, mais dans ton Covid là, comme on c'est la fière. Moi, t'es bon, bah, qu'à boire des bois, et even là, c'est mon nom, social distancing, et pas dire, hein. Il te dit comment c'est comment il est. On va s'assister, il te dit comment il est, comment il est, a body come, right? Et pas monsieur Morgan.
O Kawashai, Ava.
But la moi, vous te dit comment il est.
Moi ça.
In case of emergency, vous avez dit vigile là, so ça dit hash pour ça dit. Si nous y a pour le commissaire, on va la caler smooth. Il part off, il part venir plus vraiment avec tout pour nous blaguer, tout pour aider voir, et il va jamais vu encore. Now, Mr. Alex Dibagay about numbers and numerals and names. Moi, je me dis, Mr. Clark, il a tout by hot power, all by ça. Police, particularly SSU. Si vous avez ni noyo, et puis number yo, en les uniformes yo. Et c'est pas que nous devons dire vérifier. Moi-même, je vérifier les polices tellement pour bailler ça là. Non, avant de venir bastard. Moi, je fais que police, il était anti defense force là, mais il allait tout cas de training qui n'est. Et n'est pas aussi.
All right.
Now, if you have police for shout out, mais moi, je fais que police, moi, je peux dire non, moi, je cousin, qui est force là. In spite de les barricades, mais ne pas police respect, police pour dire mon respect, il pas au suite. Si on approche moun, et qu'on a des moun qui calé monnaie. Now, dans une section, famille un côté département, ma côté pièce. Et quoi de ça? Au trafic.
Au parc de trafic. Pour qui ça?
Votre vie a été mon. Comment moi, M. Sakari?
You have it all?
Non, a été. Même la bicycle, le gars,
ok.
Barré dit M. Morgan, je suis young. On a correspond au trafic. Qui donne jour, un petit hot, on a toujours aller tout viril. Mais on a, cocaine, l'homme noir. Avec tout le monde pour masse, mais c'est pas avec tout le monde pour bike, beaucoup qui va ni helmet.
Oui, nous avons tout le monde pour ça, affaire. L'année combien de bike qui a confisqué?
Depuis qui ça?
Et Gosle toujours qu'a fait ça. Moi, ça va pour castrer, mais ça, Gosle toujours qu'a fait ça.
Avant, moi, yon, pas comme moi. Moi, ni 4 bikes moi pour l'année passée. Personne mettre là pour venir pour yo. Yo pas venir pour yo. Moi, yon, c'est l'année passée, yon, c'est moi qui yo police.
Mais c'est Morgan, ça, ouais. Pas pour faire job. Mais c'est beaucoup trafic là. C'est pour la cas wave yo. Tous les jours, beaucoup avec ce bike, sans helmet. Sans rien. Donc, ah oui, faire pour tous les opérations pour bike qui va licence, pas de helmet, ou balance, ou so. Je ne peux pas faire ça. Mais je dois pas sorry pour ça. Mais je voulais arrêter pour vivre.
Enfin, un bike là, bike comme ça, nous ça fait pli. Mais nous café, mais ça l'homme moun ko Sergeant Matthew Gozile, toutes ces books ça Gozile là, Shane Paul, toutes ces books ça, vous savez, yo toujours qu'a fait operation by associé mais moun ça do ça.
La note est bien qui est Tibaru, moi quand nom monsieur Tibaru et puis Tikok.
Fraser. Et bien
Tikok, Joseph. Oh, c'était handle ça bien.
Joseph pas là encore.
Mais il va là encore. Non. Robin non pour faire ça là. Non, CID. You can know ça. Tu peux pas aussi coup d'accueil money problème que you can know. Mais ils sont so délai. You can information et que pas faire information. C'est lui de faire pli.
Délai yon y a chay travail au savoir. Délai yon officer qui CID. Les vin les ouais affaire rapport CID. Et tout cas parler by officer, quand officer au savent un monde cassé kay moi vle regarder pour ça. Officer même hani about a whole nearly 12,000 mil ou savent casse avant ça ou savent. I mean ça pas un excuse. Mais ça me cadeau, you can hear shy travail à faire shy. So they ou can hear perception you can move too slow.
C'est pour ça que c'est pour ça que pour ça Roger. Mon da que ça, mon cacadien hein. N'a pas officier ça toujours.
Pas être ou à ça, OK?
Oui.
Manias c'est citoyen ça assister police. Fait assurer la question qu'a aller bien. De là, à ce moment-là, qu'a périphonio, avec les mots changés. De là, il n'y a pas rester même côté encore. De là, il n'y a pas travailler même côté encore. Et police n'est pour rien pour faire connaître bail neuf qui fait avec car. Et police passe même que bon, il même pas accueillir avec police et dit OK, moi périphone moi. Les mots après c'est tel et où ça helmet place et ben pas rester même côté encore si nous ni ba assignation pour porter bao pour ça faire changer qui date pour ça venir l'audience là nous pas même hen moun parce que yo pas rester là encore de là ou quitter Castries et aller rester Denry et police là passe ça de la police là même yo tiré from Gozile et que vous choisir bon qu'est-ce ça là pour hen les bouter Castries pour ça hen moun là et donc monter Gozle pour hen moun là il pas aisé pour ça ma ba excuse mais c'est ba moi même rattraper pour moi ni pour après boss moi pour marcher de la bonne police pas même assister ou ah bon ba courir
moi il y a qu'est là depuis février mon chaque fois que police nous parler tu quand il va venir mon cadien n'a pas eu bout ça là c'est pas qu'à faire rien n'a pas comment n'a venu CID et d'ailleurs moi c'est sergent mais qui se toque sa lodge bugla villa là bugla so capitaine bon homo là et que bon faire rien c'est bon cadien n'a tout on dit ça dit
OK
moi pour ça moi le cas pour parler
ça toujours un supervisor officer ça toujours un supervisor
non d'abord le supervisor il ça qu'est-ce que ça ongoing il y a des choses faire gap non
Denia, oui. L'année l'autre monde qui est beaucoup.
Oui, Denia, complet solide. Yo bureau, mais même là, il faut faire ça qui faut fait. Moi, j'ai fait un complaint de la police. Comment le numéro? Je vais pas te barrer là. Il va jamais crier moi.
Il va jamais crier. Yes, follow up.
Mais non, il va jamais crier moi.
Moi,
je suis fait pour le département.
Moi, ça doit ça pas koyo, hein? Moi, ça doit ça pas koyo. Puis, complaint unit ça où est là. Moi, ça doit. Ici, il y a une unit qui est police à day. Là, les complaints commission, là, avec la complaints unit. La complaints unit, là, pour manière de faire travail, là, les police qui pas même aimer yo.
Oui, là,
les police qui pas même dire les pio. Et là, les gens qui dit complaints unit police, pas qu'à report police, c'est pas un bail qui voit. C'est pas un bail qui voit. Police, la police qui pas même parler de police, puis si c'est moun ça qui investigate yo. Puis c'est moun ça ni wa pour court yo. Etc. Yo ni pour faire.
Là, si moi je fais, qui s'est passé? Moi je fais, mais c'est à côté, je vais faire encore. So, bonsoir, bel programme.
Ok, Alpha. Merci beaucoup.
Merci, Alpha.
As a matter of fact, hopefully I'm trying my best for next Tuesday for the complaints unit to be
here,
to be on the show.
It's a very important department, especially when it comes to easing the public's mind as to the police not investigating police officers. It is very important. It's a very important department.
We have another call on the line. That's if we might even get a chance to go through the other standing orders. Let's take that call.
Hello, good night, sir.
Good night, sir. Talk to me. Thank you for calling.
Yes, you're most welcome. Inspector, good night.
Good night, sir. Good night.
Zachary.
Yeah, good night, buddy.
How you doing?
Holding on. Try my best.
Okay, I have two questions. To my understanding, the traffic, basically, I want to deal with traffic. I know that the traffic department, it is one of the areas that you could catch criminals, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That is one of the area that, because we know that criminals travel. That's the only way we could catch them.
It's not the only way, but one of the most effective ways, yes, because they always move.
That is one of the most effective ways to catch criminals.
Yeah.
And I find that we do a poor job in that area. I believe that we should be more, traffic should be more vigilant. Because me as a outsider, if you miss a vehicle or somebody stole a vehicle, one of the areas that you should be catching those vehicles is in traffic. And that's supposed to be extension to communications and work. Because when you lose a vehicle, most of the time that you lose that vehicle, parts is using, engine is using, and there is no way to identify it simply because you find that the way that we do inspection in St. Lucia, it is very difficult to identify a stolen vehicle. Simply because we don't check the serial numbers on the engine properly, and we don't have a thorough detail how we do it, and that's a problem. I'll do that for you. I'll do for you later. When I look at how the traffic operates, even when the traffic officers are directing traffic, for example, if they are transporting probably an official or member of the public, the way they conduct themselves by asking the public to move in the road I find that is not discipline.
You find it's too aggressive?
I find it is too aggressive. Sometimes they use languages that is not supposed to use. I have experienced it. I have seen it because I'm on the road and I'm seeing it.
Okay.
And I believe our police officers, I mean, I have no problem with police. I love the police because they are the ones who protect us. But at the same time, they need to be able to talk to the public. And if you want the trust of the public, you have to treat them with respect. Now, when I look at the police force, they have a lot of people who are disciplined. We have some wonderful policemen, but we also have some policemen that is rough. You know, I mean, I have been watching incidents on Facebook, how they conduct themselves when they are arresting someone. And to me, I find that the approach could be much better.
Although sometimes, caller, the approach is never recorded, eh?
Well, it needs to be recorded.
Okay.
It needs to be recorded. Also, coming back again on the matter of stolen vehicle, I believe we could do a lot better.
Okay.
I personally believe that there should have some kind of inspection being done, whether it is yearly and every three years. Especially commercial vehicle should be inspect every year, and private vehicle every 3 years. And it should not be gas station. It should be communication and work. Okay. That's the only way we can catch the thieves.
Okay.
Too many vehicles have been stolen in St. Lucia, and very few of them have been recovered.
Okay.
And sometimes I'm driving, I am seeing a Nissan Tiida. It has a white fender. It has a black bumper. Sometimes the registration number it sometimes don't even have any registration number, but it is on the road. Where are our policemen? Traffic again, I find that sometimes you find the traffic is so heavy from
Grizzly to Castries.
And I am seeing motorcycle traffic officers just riding and not directing the traffic. We should be able to divert them to ease. That's what I believe traffic officers should be doing, helping the traffic to move. So when you tell me you riding from Grosile up to Grosile, coming back down, and the traffic is heavier, you're not even paying attention to what really going on to help the situation. What kind of traffic officer can you be? That is my concern, my brothers.
Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Have
sir.
a good night.
Thank you so much, sir, for your contribution.
Yeah. He made some very important points there, especially when it comes to the getting vehicles. I mean, yes, the police have gotten some vehicles already, not the entire vehicle, but by parts, and some of the parts on other vehicles.
Yeah.
And of course, I agree with him very much when he said that communication should be the one doing it and not
just some private entity or gas
That
station.
doesn't mean that the gas stations, the gas stations and the garages are not
doing
honestly
what they're supposed to do.
They do it, yeah.
But to be having more streamlined.
But the point where he said about the camera recording of person, sometimes the clippings you see, like you rightfully said, is not the entire thing.
Yeah.
So the person who started recording wasn't there when it started. And if you got the recording from the beginning, it is totally different from what...
I'm hoping we could have body cams. You have another call? Okay. Good night, caller. Thank you for calling
Hello,
Police
good night.
Insight. Good night, sir.
Good night, Corporal.
Good night, good night.
Yeah, good night, Corporal. How are you?
I'm fine. Talk to me. Don't listen to your...
Inspector, how are you?
Don't listen
Good night,
to your,
sir.
don't listen
I'm
to your
fine.
television. Go on it and listen to us over the phone.
I'm fine. Good night.
Okay. My question is tonight. Yeah, my question is, why is that those in khaki, the inspectors, haven't got a number on the uniform. They don't have a number on the uniform. Like theirs in black and white.
Well,
because they can abuse their power, and if they do something wrong, you don't identify them.
Well, I have never, since I joined the force, and around the region, I think a lot of the countries around the region carry basically the same uniform as us when it comes to the khaki. And around this place, none of them carry the numbers or the names on them. The lower ranks do carry them. I guess by that time, most of those persons wearing the khaki would have been known already by the public. I am in the force for 22 years. There are persons that are in the force for 30-something years. By now, they would have been known already. And they are the ones, I do understand the importance of carrying the name. If you have to carry it tomorrow, I will carry it. But from the rank of inspector up, you don't carry a number anymore. I would love to keep my number 636, but you don't carry a number anymore from that rank of inspector.
But you don't think it's very important to carry a number?
It is important, we agree with that, but if you look at the Barbados uniform, Trinidad uniform, the settlements, all the senior officers, they don't carry their numbers they don't carry their name and numbers on the senior officer's uniform. So it is what we inherited. It doesn't mean that it cannot be changed.
I don't carry the number.
It doesn't mean it cannot be changed.
So you think
you have persons going home that are a bit afraid sometimes because the place is so dark. All of these things can help. Your community you must feel safe in your community.
Okay.
And but through our efforts we can get it done.
Sure.
All right, caller. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the good work.
All right.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a good night.
Shane, we're going to take another short break. Someone told me the live feed is down. I'm not sure, but we're going to take a short break. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned to Police Insight.
Sodium-free and the proud recipient of the 2018, 2019 and 2020 Grand Gold Mond Selection Quality Award. Our choice is clear, crystal clear.
Boost your commercial success with NBC TV and NBC Social. Don't look back. Invest in your advertising. Reach your target audience at peak times and off-peak times. We deliver strategically placed advertising spots at the most competitive rates. Also ask about our production services, which include television ad production, jingles, and documentaries designed to suit your business needs. We also deliver classified ads designed for land sales, job opportunities, and more. Advertise with NBC TV and NBC Social.
The COVID vaccine is here and is for people 18 years and older.
High-risk healthcare workers, first responders, law enforcement,
as well as people living with chronic conditions.
And our seniors 65 and over. The vaccine is absolutely free.
Ou sa registre online, en community center qui en community ou.
Or with your private healthcare provider. Vaccinate for you.
Pour moi.
For us.
Did you get the COVID-19 vaccine? Then you may experience one or a combination of side effects, or even no side effects at all. Side effects may include pain or tenderness in the area where you got the vaccine. You may also notice a little swelling or redness. To manage these, you may apply a clean, cool, wet washcloth or an ice pack over the area. Throughout your body, you may feel chills, fever, nausea, joint pain, tiredness, headache, or muscle pain. To manage this discomfort, you should get plenty of rest. Drink fluids, but avoid alcohol and caffeine. If you need to manage pain, you may take paracetamol, not aspirin. You may continue to take all medications prescribed for you for your health condition. Vaccinate. For you, for yours, for us.
Gentlemen, if you are suffering from prostate cancer, and you have been told that there's nothing that can be done for you before you and your family make your final arrangements, please try ProsCare. ProsCare is a proprietary blend of special natural medicines. To order ProsCare, please call Health Services Center 1-758-453-6417 or 485-9818. Please call now. This call may save your life.
You're watching MBC.
Welcome back, St. Lucia. Welcome back, all those of you watching at home and also live on MBC Television, St. Lucia. We're going to continue the discussion. Do you have confidence in the police force? Do you have suggestions in how we could improve our perception in the public? Let me just try and get some messages from the WhatsApp and also the Facebook. Let me see. Good night, Sergeant Zachary and Inspector Morgan. Can you indicate what is being done to curb the reckless driving by motorcycles and scooters on the Car Street to Grosley Road? I want to make a special mention of the KFC delivery scooters.
Wow.
I definitely need to have a traffic show to bring the traffic department here. Let me go back to Facebook before we take that call. A suggestion from someone on Facebook. There are a few quick wins to improve relationships with the police and some communities at this stage. But here are some suggestions. At each encounter, the police should inform the community or individuals involved about how they can complain about the experience. The police can also implement a rigorous, continuous learning and improvement approach to unlearn old or outdated practices and show they are responding to the current needs of the community. Strategically, the Public Service Commission should consider allowing special, points to individuals who have served at least 2 years in the RSLPF when making appointments to the senior levels of the public service. The purpose being to encourage talent to serve prior to going off to do an MA or a PhD. And this person says, the police should consider forming a community housing association like its credit union that could implement some corporate social responsibility initiatives and demonstrate that we have a common objective of improving the lives of all St. Lucians. So some good, really impressive, in my opinion, suggestions coming
Very much so.
From an individual there on Facebook. It's 4533911, 4533911. You could call with a suggestion. We have that call? Okay, let's take that call. Good night, caller.
Yes, good night.
How you doing, buddy? Talk to me.
I'm all right here. I was just concerned, the issue of all the gun crimes and illegal firearms in circulation. Have the police and prosecutors ever considered some sort of plea bargain with the people convicted of gun crimes, that if they can identify who provided them with the gun, that they get a lesser sentence or something?
As in plea bargains?
Yes, we've been charging the persons who, of course, have the gun, but then it would be interesting to find out where they actually getting those guns from.
Well, I know for sure, caller, that when it comes to the courts, we lost this caller, but I guess you're listening on air. When it comes to the courts, there are various strategies that will always be used, especially when it comes to either a finished investigation or sometimes even even after the investigation of a particular offense is done. Sometimes we have evidence where a new one needs to start. Certain things like that do happen, but I don't want to put the cart before the horse. I am also trying to get individuals from the Crown Prosecution Service on the show. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Inspector?
The other thing is that I want the caller to understand there are 4 ways in which somebody can be involved in a crime. There is principle in the first, principle in the second, There's accessory before the fact, accessory also after the fact. So if somebody, like he asked the question, if the person furnishes the people with firearms, if they do get the information, if they get arrested, yes. As long as the person has an involvement in it, a critical involvement, persons are being arrested. Sometimes that's why you have sometimes 3 persons arrested for 1 firearm. Okay, and they have to prove to the judge, to the magistrate, that they had nothing to do with it. The police will prosecute you and ensuring that they bring you to justice for the firearm. But if somebody comes across with a firearm and they speak nothing of anybody involvement, or we have no information in all our investigations that somebody else was involved, until we get the information and it's credible enough, then we can go after that other person. But until then, that one person we get with the firearm has to take that blame for that firearm. But you can be involved by just holding the firearm, knowing that the firearm is illegal and you have it in your possession. So even if somebody uses it for a crime, and you're the one holding it for the person. For instance, the person is a known criminal, and there's a possibility the police will come after him. He quickly gives it to you to hold, because you're an upstanding citizen, or they'll not expect you to be doing that. If you found with that firearm, you're just as guilty as the person who committed the crime.
That's right.
With that firearm.
Yes.
So you're an accomplice. Now, if after the crime was committed, they give you the firearm to hold together with the cash and the mask and the implements used for committing that offense, you're just as guilty as the person committing the offense as well. All right. So there are 4 ways in which you get involved. So first, the principle in the first, principle in the second, accessory before the fact, accessory after the fact as well.
We have another call on the line. Let's take that call. Good night, caller.
Yes, good night, sir.
Good night, sir. Talk to me.
All right, good night, brother Zachary.
What's up, man?
I'm doing all right. I've always been watching your show, actually. Well, I've been following you
Thank you.
a very long time, but never called your show.
Thank you for the support, and thank you for calling for the first time.
All right. I also want to greet your guest, Officer Morgan, or whatever his name.
Good night, sir. Good night.
Yeah, Inspector Morgan.
All right. But tonight, I just want to ask a few questions. And number one, I want to ask, is it lawful? Oh, okay. Let me put it this way, rather. Why is it that somebody is unable to join the police force with piercing, but after they have become a police officer, after a while, I see they wearing their stud and all of this stuff? Why is that accepted in the police force? I am listening. I'm on the phone, so you could answer me, and then I will ask the other question.
Good question.
Caller, to be honest with you, I have seen police officers, and I'm serious, have been spoken to, and also to the point of bringing up to or should I say matched to a senior commanding officer in terms of speaking of their appearance. Also, there is also this new trend of thought among the new generation of police officers who are stating that my appearance or my long hair or my stud, etc., should not be a judge as to how I carry out my duties. However, it is clear and well defined how we should look in our standing orders. So it is something that I know a lot of supervisors are dealing with. Some of our members have been taken to task for that. But it is something we just continue to work with. But I know for sure when I invite the Police Welfare Association, the president, he's honestly going to touch on that, because they have they're in jurisdictions, I believe it was Guyana or Jamaica, where this actually went to the courts, where some police officers believe that they have the right to have a particular appearance, especially when it came to the hair, and then the court ruled on that.
Okay. Now, you see, I am not saying this to hold anything against the police, but to me, I am seeing a double standard. And the reason being, if you cannot join the police force with piercing, because I know of many people who have tried to join with piercing and they will turn back as a result of the piercing. Now, if you cannot join with the piercing, for me, there is no way you should be accepted after you have joined the force, that then you can start wearing your studs, your earring, whatever you want to call it. That's number one. Now, number two, we had this situation, especially with the coronavirus, and then you had those wardens. And those wardens, I'm not sure if they were really under the jurisdiction of the police, but however, I would still consider them to be police, people policing people around to make sure they maintain the standard of the corona.
Protocols.
Now, I saw, in some clips and some footage which was played in the news most of the time, some of those wardens, for me, they were really, really by far, and they were really by far and beyond, their limit. I saw one where a police officer was actually pulling, he was grabbing a gentleman by the hair. I think this was a Rasta guy. And for me, these things should not be accepted at no time. Now, I expect on your show, Brother Zachary, to me, I expect some of those pertinent issues that you can raise them right there. It doesn't matter even if they may be upset at you, but I think that is a good platform where you can also expose the police and their behavior, their misconduct in the public. And, they will have to answer to certain questions because, honestly, I think some of those wardens, they went beyond the limit. To me, the wardens were there to make sure you uphold to the laws, but however, some of their behavior was unbecoming.
Well, Caller, what I could tell you is that I don't want anyone to get the impression that this show or the police force condones ill discipline or bad behavior on part of the police when executing their duties. That is not the case at all. I'm
not saying that you are either.
And as a matter of fact, even recently, our police commissioner was on the media stating that he is encouraging individuals to report the police officers. Whilst you interacting with a police officer, you believe whether it is you affected or from what you're saying, you believe that this police officer has acted in a manner that is beyond professionalism, you have a right to make that report. And I know some people, there's actually another question there about should the police investigate the police. Call, I know some people are skeptical about that, but the police complaints unit is headed by civilians, The Police Complaints Commission. Yes, and a lot of people don't know that. So this mechanism was put in place to ease off the concerns of people, where people might say, oh, but it's police that there, the police will never try to investigate police officers. And that is not the case. The commission is actually headed by civilians, right, Inspector?
Yeah.
You understand? And there are lots of, there was a time our commissioner was asked if we should inform the public in terms of give stats of the amount of police officers, if there are a lot of police officers who have been disciplined, and that is still up in the air. But so I could tell you, some of our colleagues who have found themselves on the wrong side have been disciplined. Some have lost their job.
Yeah, well, I am aware of that, Brother Zachary. For sure, I am aware of that. But I'm just saying, I think this was far too many. Seeing this thing. Now, the other thing I want to say, I realize, is a police... I will ask you the question. It may sound silly, but I know I am asking it in this manner. Is a police officer always a police officer, even when you are on leave?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now let me tell you why I asked you that question. Again, I am going back to the first point. You find where police officers, when they are, at work, they appear to be police officers, some of them. But when they are on leave, they appear to be like vagabonds. They have all kind of old beard in their face. Some of them, it's like you cannot define if they are a police officer anymore.
Well, Caller, imagine we actually read, I don't know if you missed the beginning of the show, but you actually read from our standing orders how police officers need to appear and conduct themselves, whether they on or off duty. And the citation...
Okay, well, I started following the show.
Okay.
And then I happened to move to a next channel, so that's the reason why I missed probably on that. But I am just saying, I believe in St. Lucia, in general, our police officers, I love police officers. All of them nieces, cousins, just name it. I love police officers. I love to work with them. When I am among police officers, I feel very secure, and I always try to befriend police officers. Like there is a saying, a popular saying, there are always some bad eggs among the good ones. And most time you find, because even in the Christian faith. Now the reason why I ask, if a police officer is always a police officer, even when they are off duty, I mean they are on leave, vacation leave, however we call it, because if you're a Christian and you are a believer in Christ, there isn't a time that you can determine to let off your guard. You have to maintain being a Christian at all times. And I look at police officers almost like Christians. This is a group of people who have offered themselves to offer a special service unto a nation. And for me, this set of people always have to try and hold the role of conduct at all times. Now, I have a problem, to be honest with you, also with the police force. And this is not with you, I mean, as a single individual or Officer Morgan, with the police force. And especially the hierarchies. Certain persons, when certain things happen in the public domain, it will not take, I mean, probably 20 minutes that their name would have already been published. And you find certain things and certain persons, when things happen, it takes sometimes forever. Maybe their name will never be published in the public domain. And people never know who they are, especially with one of those major incidents we had with that drug bust, scandal up in the north. Up to now, I think some people are still, well, not some, people are still waiting for a conclusive and a thorough investigation, and also that whoever, it could be Prime Minister Alan Chastanet, former Prime Minister Dr. Kenny, it doesn't matter who the individual is or are, but we need justice to go for one and for all, for the hierarchies and for the lowercase, for everybody. When we are talking about policing, and I think, my brother, like I said, I love the show you have. One of the other things is, I think, police officers are becoming too political. And that is really disturbing our police force also. Because you have the yellow. Right now, bro, I'm telling you, I'm talking, I am involved with people all the time. Police officers have become red and yellow. And that's what it is now, red versus the yellow. So the police officers should be a well-respected group. But right now, government itself is playing a major political role in the police force. And people are aware of it. So all of these things, I think if our police ought to serve effectively like they should, and they have been called for that, I think government should try and stay as much as possible out of the police force. And the last thing, my brother, the government is spending a lot of money on CC cameras. The government, I am calling on you to spend those monies on the police, because I think we are lacking some police officers still. Because a lot of the places we have the CC cameras, the people still commit the high-level crime and all of these things. If we would have spent those monies on the police officers, give them better equipment, better days, the financial support and all of these things, and hire more police officers, because some of them will spend millions in the CC cameras, and I'm not saying that they're not serving, some of their purposes, but not all. I think we need more police presence on the ground at all times, 24/7, and not just one police or two police officers having to go on duty. We need more than that. So I am calling on, it doesn't matter which government, but I am calling on the power that be. Let us take care of the police officers if we want them to operate effectively. And I look forward to seeing, some great improvement and enhancement in the police force. My brother, I will keep calling your shows. God bless you. You all are doing a good job, and keep it up.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much for your contribution, caller.
Lots of important points. A lot of important points there, especially when he says about the politics and policing. I can remember at the police training school when I trained in 1999. We've been told by Mr. Nelson, who was the commissioner of police then, that your political life is not for public. All right, it's not for
public
the public
declaration.
Yes.
That's what we were taught.
Your personal life, your political life is personal. That's your business.
Yes, your business.
We serve a country that basically has two parties, red and yellow, or
Yeah.
Labour and Flabo.
And no matter which
and
one
at any
makes up
point
the
in time,
government.
at any point in time, you have to work with them.
You have to work with them.
So I remain. I mean, that's my business where I vote. That's nobody's business, not even the commissioner. That's nobody's business where I vote. And I think I've been a part working at the parliament with the as at arms. I don't think the parliamentary personnel, the members there would know where I stand. I'm just a police. I come to do my work as a police, and that's that. I've worked around the political campaign, which I don't like doing.
Neither
I
me.
work around them, and I don't like doing it at all. But when I'm there, I don't listen. I just look at safety of persons. I look at what's supposed to be done, and that's it. I quicker look to get home when it is done. So I don't go there to hear the TMT. I look at the safety of the persons, whether persons are going to come and throw things after them, whether people passing, they will have a fight or whatever. I look at ensuring that the people come to listen to the meeting, have a good meeting, a peaceful meeting. Those having a meeting also are also responding to persons that are peacefully listening to them and not being stoned and stuff like that. That's my concern, the safety of the persons at the meeting, the persons conducting the
That's
meeting,
how it should
and
be.
persons having to traverse the area. I don't take to political at all. I'm strictly police. My party is black and white.
That's what it should be.
But I always vote. I'm a St. Lucian. I think many people die. Many people lost their lives
To give us that right.
So I have to exercise that right.
I have a question here. Do you think that it's right for the police to investigate the police? To me, it's not really a question of right or no right. The organization, whatever strategy or whatever processes we could put there to show more transparency for the public, we shouldn't have a problem with it. I don't have an issue.
I think also people must take a look at, even some people tend to compare when it's necessary us to other countries. The great USA have the IA.
Yes, internal
Affairs.
Yes.
And the internal affairs make up a body of police officers investigating police officers.
That's right.
When you are a corrupt police officer on the street and you hear the IA is coming after you or the IA guys came and asked for you, you wonder what is wrong. And the police officer investigating, and you see it on television all the time.
Yeah.
So why not in our own? Does that mean that we have our police officers are so bad? Our officers are so corrupt that we cannot have one officer or officers amongst us to do the calling of the public to investigate police officers who may have gone wrong or may have been reported, or sometimes may have been reported falsely too. Because I have had a set of bus drivers come and tell me, look, a guy said he would be reporting a police officer, but officer, if it come to you, run mate out, Gasser, because mate lie on the man. The officer pulled him up on a bike, and he said he's going to report the officer for carrying drugs on the bike.
Wow.
And that wasn't true at all.
That wasn't true. We have a call. Let's take that call. Good night, caller.
Yes, hello.
Hello, good night, caller. Thanks for calling.
Corporal.
Talk to me.
Yeah, Corporal, me again.
Oh, what's up? Talk to me. You're listening again.
If a policeman do a crime,
sorry?
Will he get the same treatment? Will he get the same treatment as a criminal?
Come again?
If a police officer does a crime, will he get the same treatment as a criminal?
Or will he go to prison as the same way like a criminal will go to prison?
Yeah, caller, if I can answer that, we have officers that are currently, ex-officers who are currently serving in prison. We have officers who have gone to prison for crimes that they have committed. The police officer is, like we said, the police officer is a citizen just like you. If he does something wrong, then he has to face the law just like anybody else.
Okay.
That's why we know better, and we're supposed to ensure that we maintain our sanity, our standards as much as possible.
So, yes. So they get the same treatment, you say?
Yes, sir, the same treatment.
Citizen. We're citizens.
Recently, you heard of the officers involving themselves with a young lady, an underage person. They were both arrested. They were both charged, just like anybody else.
Okay.
All right, caller?
All right.
Thank you very much, sir.
Some messages from Facebook. We continue to make excuses for crime by comparing the lesser evil, whilst the police must appear to be consistent as a law enforcement unit. Lawlessness should not be condoned by civilians. Here's someone say, here is the answer, Zach. First of all, it was I won't say what the person's saying there. I'll substitute the words. It was messed up putting the COVID wardens under the Ministry of Home Affairs. They should have been placed under the Ministry of Health. What that did was to break down all the strides that the police had already done in gaining the public's trust. All that was eroded in the name of COVID. Another contribution here, police officers are human and sometimes stress and emotions do cloud their professionalism. Does that mean every officer is a tyrant? The answer is no. But it doesn't paint a nice picture publicly. Some might even say it's within political lines. There are, and I know quite a few great police officers, and getting the trust of the public will take some time and effort. Someone says start by arresting a politician. You will always get one of those, Mr. Morgan. Mr. Morgan, it's already a minute to 10. We're going to. We never got through to the other standing orders.
Yeah.
But the good thing about it is that we have a lot of material for the next time you come back, because you're the one, so I would like you, if you don't mind, to continue these particular parameters of the perception and what people may think that could better the communication relationship between the police and the public. Final words for you, sir.
Yeah. Again, I just want I want to thank you for allowing me to be here on your on the program tonight. I want to also shout out my former staff. Not I wouldn't say my former, my staff of CRB, Nisha Fauché,
still your staff,
Mr. Pascal, as well as Mr. Antoine, who's now at the hospital.
Yeah.
So we just hoping that everything works out well for him. But the importance here is that the community and the police working together can make St. Lucia great. A police should not be seen as that big bully that always have to arrest, it's not only about arrest. A police officer, in my view, or a police officer as supposed to be, should be seen from a child's point of view. A police officer should be seen as a dad, as an uncle, right? In the eyes of the grandparents, in the eyes of the elderly, the police officer should be seen as a child, a ward. That person that will look after me when my children are not there. That person, I know that will keep on checking on me every now and then to see if I'm home alone or if everything is okay. To the working class, they should be seen as a brother, a sister, a cousin, somebody I can relate to, somebody I can go to, somebody I can sit down with and just have a talk with when I'm stressed. All right, and it's all of that. Somebody, the same person I can play a game with. And the same person that if he sees my child on the road and I'm speaking to that child, I know it's something positive I'm telling that child. I know if anybody see me talking to their child on the road, knows it is nothing negative I'm telling that child. A child is a child, and I leave a child in the realm of a child. And I respect that child. And I treat your child like it's my own child. I would love to know that somebody speaks to my child on the road when I'm not there, but something positive. Okay, so if I can take care of your child, I'm responsible for seeing that your child is safe. I'll be very grateful if you could see to it that my child crosses the road safe or gets to a particular point safe. You know, and I think that's how it's supposed to be. I am comfortable when people police the police. Mm-hmm. I'm comfortable when somebody look to see what I'm doing. But again, there are some people within the public that feel they should come right in your face with a camera. Like, because you're police, you can put your face right. Yeah, you can record me all you want, pal. But let's do it with discretion. I'll even pose for you. I don't have a problem with cameras. But we have to understand that, yes, the police have to do their work. And the police officers out there ask you to go out there, represent the police force, serve the people, serve the public in the way that we took our oath to serve them faithfully without any fear or favor. All right? If your brother is the one that's wrong, let him know you're wrong.
That's right.
If your cousin is wrong, let him know you're wrong. Or if your partner is wrong. My friends don't give me trouble. My friends know I take my work very serious.
And if they're giving trouble,
they know for sure I will arrest them. My friends don't give trouble.
That's right.
I respect them. They respect themselves. They respect the country as well. I choose the friends that I have. So, as a matter of fact, we have a responsibility to ensure that our country is safe, and by ensuring that we ourselves work along with the public, with that we can bring St. Lucia to the heights that it has been, or it's supposed to be.
Thank you so much, Inspector, for being my guest on Police Insight. Quickly, there are lots of things that this organization have done, to try our best to bridge the gap between the citizenry and the public. And just to name a quick few, we established the complaints unit, which is overseen by the Complaints Commission, and the number for them is 456-3764. 456-3764. We have a crime hotline, which you could call anytime and to give anonymous information. It is 452-7463. 452-7463. As you know, we have a community relations branch, 456-3715. 456-3715 community relations branch. We have the press office, the press relations department, and we also, even before COVID, the police commissioners had the Meet the Commissioner community meetings. And guess what? We also have a police talk show. How many jurisdictions, how many regions could say that, hey, the police force, their police force has a talk show where they could interact with the public on a weekly basis? Not so many. Probably just one other jurisdiction. So people, thank you so much for tuning in. Those of you on the Facebook chat, thank you for all your suggestions. Those who called, as you know, if it's a Tuesday, it's Police Insight. Stay safe and have a good night. Take care.
Free and the proud recipient of the 2018, 2019 and 2020 Grand Gold Mond Selection Quality Award. Our choice is clear, crystal clear.
Boost your commercial success with Embassy TV and Embassy Social. Don't look back. Invest in your advertising. Reach your target audience at peak times and off-peak times. We deliver strategically